Okay, we are live now. We are picking up from where we left. SOS Limited down 9.758%, retracing, trading below all of its trend lines at the moment, but momentum is gradually trying to pick up. The MACD is below the signal line. This is the live session of the 15th of April 2021, and we are looking at a 1-minute model. So SOS Limited down 9.38%. Let's look at the 5-minute model, see how things are over there. 5-minute model, it's also the same. That's the same. It's still below the signal line, sorry, below the trend lines, all of them. The 10-minute model is also showing the same thing. We're just going to return to the 1-minute model. So this is how things are right now. It's trying to extend. Seeing some resistance from the 20-day trend line currently. The MACD is also breaking through its signal line, as we can see right down there at the bottom of the screen. So gradually extending. We have the figure is 8.94% now. So we'll have a look at INPX. INPX is up 10.34%, but currently bearish, or rather trying to recover from that, trading below all of its trend lines based on this 1-minute model. So it's bearish now, retracing gradually. MACD is clearly below the signal line, and yes, thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up if you can. So we're covering the live session for SOS, Rgbp, SYSOREX, and INPX. So we are currently looking at INPX right now. It's up 9.49%. So let's have a look at Rgbp. If you have any stock you want us to have a look at, feel free to enter that in the comment box and we will have a look at it. So we can see that Regen Bio is also down 8.39%. During the at some point in this session was up probably about 10% or thereabout, but currently it's down 8.30%. So let's look at SYX. SYX is up 6.82%. Yesterday was up by a huge amount, I believe. Yes, up to 1000% yesterday, and today it's moving sideways, bearish at the moment. Momentum is flat, MACD below the signal line. So let's return to SOX and see what's going on. There's no squeeze at the moment. What we're looking at right now is the battle. So a lot of commentators are blaming what is it called, market makers for contributing to, or rather, yes, as part of those who are selling some of these stocks short. So if we are facing market makers, then we are really facing a huge challenge, because these are the guys that ultimately place the transactions. So amongst other things we have all been hearing is that if you need to sell your stock, you have to endeavor to use a market order, as the limit order makes your shares available to be borrowed. But even at that, these market makers have been able to find, they know how to go about these things. Even if you decide not to even sell at all, they know how to go about the market and trade these shares and sell them and all that stuff. So it's a serious battle we're all facing right now. So SYSOREX down 9.38% at $4.345. So it's since retraced from this. At some point, this 200-day trend line was at $4.74. It has since gradually retraced because the stock itself has continued to retrace. So that used to be the barometer. Once it crossed that 4.74, it came into the positive, but right now that has since changed. Indeed, you can always get into the positive regardless of that trend line. But in any case, I was just trying to point out that at some point during the session, if it broke through that 200-day trend line, it automatically got into the positive, but things have changed now. So it's down 9.56%. We don't have any news concerning SOS at the moment. Let's see if we can get any. There isn't any fresh news. I think the much we have is from yesterday, the 2nd of April. Sorry, yesterday, the 14th of April. Are we going to see any squeeze at all? Well, we still have about 3 hours left in this session. So you have about 3 hours left in this session. The volume, you can see, is very much low, not very high. At some point we had hundreds of thousands going in within seconds. So let's have a look at the daily model, and we'll probably be able to get an idea of how many shares have crossed the tape today. 27.397 million shares have crossed the tape today. And let's see if we can find what its float is. 17.951 million. So a lot of shares have, yes, a lot of transactions have taken place since we have this figure. So this is what we're facing now. We are looking at a retracement of 9.27% for SOS Limited, and we are also looking at all the related stocks. SYSX is currently extending right now, up 13.38%. If you're there, thank you very much for joining us. If you need us to have a look at any stock, please do leave your comments so that we can all see what you are probably thinking or have in mind. So it's the SYSOREX is currently bullish at the moment, but for some reason the MACD is still below the signal line. That's quite unusual, even with what we're looking at right now. The stock is clearly above its 10-day 10-day trend line. Okay, indeed the MACD has slightly extended now above the signal line. So let's look at Rgbp will run up a huge gain as well on the 13th of April as well. And then we have the INPX. INPX is associated with SYX. You can see what's going on there. For some time now, I would say for the last 10 minutes or thereabout, it has not broken through this $1.28. You can see that's going cyclical here between 1.28 and 1.27. Very much the stuff of scalpers, I believe. So it's currently up 9.91%. So let's return to the SOS. Yeah, for the best part of 10 minutes as well, or roughly, let me say 20 minutes, it's been trading between 4.35 and 4.40. Yeah, not very active at the moment, has since retraced. MACD is currently above the signal line, but momentum is not exactly very cheerful at the moment, not looking up that well. Quite frankly, I really don't know what's going on, but market commentators are blaming it on the not just the hedge fund short sellers. They are blaming the market makers for what is going on, especially OTC stocks. Yes, they're blaming them for the lack of extension we're seeing now, because I mean the sentiment is that of a bullish one. We will. I mean, these guys took a delivery of their rigs and all that stuff, and we have not really seen anything yet. Even though, of course, we have to point out that there's that case that they are pretty much a dodgy enterprise and all that stuff. But you know, market participants have shrugged that off. You hardly see anybody talking about that. You know, you actually see people even citing and asserting that those cases are themselves fraudulent. You know, or rather fake, rather. You know, so yeah, I mean a tangible amount of volume has traded across the tape today, 27 million. Yeah, let's see what the average volume is for. Okay, we have for the last 10 days is 85 million. Okay, so far it's still not so wonderful, Okay, let's see. It says here today's volumes is on track to be lighter than usual. Okay, with 26.11 million shares having traded so far. Okay, all right. So all in all, I think yes, the momentum is not so, volume is not so wonderful as well. So even at that, regardless regardless of low volume or not, there's still a handy amount of short interest involved in this, you know. But obviously we may not be able to tell what the figures are. But I believe yesterday as well there was a significant amount of short interest in the entire volume. So currently down 8.58%. This is the 1 minute model. The other models may present a different picture. Let's have a look at the 5 minutes. The 5-minute model is pretty much the same thing, trading below all of its trend lines, but getting some resistance from the 10-day trend line. The momentum here is trying to improve. Obviously, momentum precedes price action, but sometimes it doesn't look that way. It's almost as if they are the same, but indeed, momentum has to precede price action because of the fact that the price gets its fuel from momentum. So yes, it's trying to gradually extend a little bit, getting some resistance from the 50-day trend line. MACD has surpassed the signal line. Momentum is cooling off a bit, I should say. So I think the enthusiasm is there, the interest is there, but indeed, the various market participants, not just the market makers and the short sellers, the regular folk as well might decide to, take money off the table. Some are scalping as well, because all of these low volatility we're seeing at the moment, some scalpers will definitely find it interesting to get involved and see what they can make out of it. So let's have a look at Rgbp. Okay, regen buy down 8.95%. SYSOREX SYSOREX is up 7.28%. SYSOREX, obviously, you all know, ran up a huge amount of gain yesterday, and it's became the first publicly traded company that mines Ethereum. So the question is, will SYSOREX remain here? Will it remain in whole number figures, or will it retrace back to fractional figures? Time will tell. So it's currently bearish at the moment. The MACD is below the signal line. Momentum is not so strong at the moment, so we can look at INPX. INPX is the other company that converted its debt to equity. It's debt with SYSOREX. It converted it to equity yesterday. So we can see what's going on. It's gradually retracing, up 8.62%, but bearish at the moment. Let's look at so SOS is now down 9.06%. I think I don't even know if it trades options. Let's have a look if it trades options. Yes, the options involved. So you can see this 450 call that will expire tomorrow has since retraced from this high of 1.513 to 0.11 at the moment. So let's return to the 1 minute, see how it goes. It's down 9.17% now. the volume is obviously it has been validated at the moment that it is quite light for today. And obviously in the broader market as well, we have not been able to see a lot of shares as well. Usually you will see from time to time on a regular day, on a good day, you see shares that have added up to triple digit gains, but today we have not really seen any, so it's also broadly a quiet day as well. So we have a message here says, I hope it will turn soon. I'm balls deep in SOS, either buying a Lambo or all I have to sell my house. Okay, don't worry, things will turn out fine. We have to I think what some market commentators are trying to allude to is that the market makers are really having the dinner of a lot of retail investors. They are really going about their own business first of all, before the business of the market participants. Or the market participants are the customers, so they are trying to save that. They are serving themselves first before they are serving the retail investors, and they are selling some of these stocks naked, shorting them naked. Sorry, and that means probably that what it probably means is that even if a lot of market participants begin to ensure they don't use limit orders to sell their shares, amongst other things, they have probably began to find other means to do all that. I even read somewhere that they are even doing all sorts of things. What is it called? Is it counterfeit shares and all that stuff. So yeah, so one particular commentator was actually saying that Congress should get involved and look at this and see what's going on. If you go on stocktwits, you see the enthusiasm on SOS is infinite. It is monumental. And you'll be wondering. Yes, indeed, the people on stocktwits, some indeed will be bearish as well, but by and large, I can imagine that the majority of them will be very much bullish. And this is what we are looking at right now, a retracement of 10% now. Yeah, so indeed, market makers can really undo the best efforts of even the most concerted, the most organized short squeeze. They can really do a lot of harm. They can really scuttle it. They can, because all in all of those transactions, it goes through their table, their gates. They are the ones that are effectively places the transactions. So obviously the brokers themselves are currently making money because of these days we don't have commissions, and that has helped a lot of people, a lot of market participants to get involved, because those commissions, I tell you, man, sometimes they're not a lot, but it can deter you. A lot of retail investors, believe it, yes, they come into this game with $50 and or even less, and if there's going to be a fee of $10, it can really curtail a lot of things. So even though it doesn't sound like a lot, but I tell you, it has changed a lot of things. Obviously the volumes we're seeing now, the level of participation has definitely changed. I know when there used to be fees, but now a lot of people are getting involved, and obviously the way the transactions have remained free is obviously they are involved there, is what they get from the market makers, and market makers may now argue that they have to do what they have to do to ensure that you and I have to trade fee free, but if they are really going ahead to do other things that are not exactly that are against the interest of market participants, especially short selling. But I mean, short selling in itself is not wrong, but it can be questionable if the market makers themselves are doing that, because I won't believe that they themselves they shouldn't they, or should they, be doing that? They're also in the business as well. They are there to make money as well, but I think it has to be done in a certain way, but short selling is absolutely very important, very good, because obviously it helps to ensure that there is a balance, like some of these stocks, I mean, for indeed SOS, if there's a short interest there, we all need to see that there is some healthy skepticism towards the stock. But yes, it becomes questionable if market makers are also involved in doing so, maybe because they themselves, I believe, they are the final frontier, between the brokers, or rather the platforms, and the market participants, and then the main trading platform itself, the exchanges rather, yeah. So yeah, so we are looking at a retracement of 10.63%. We've got 2 likes there. If you can, give us a like and let's get going. MACD is below the signal line and retracing. Momentum is flat right now. It's not a very wonderful session today. So retracements has even reached 11% now. So it's very much bearish at the moment. But in any case, though, the more bearish you get, the better the reverse will also. It opens up the reverse to the more retracements, the closer a buying opportunity is presented. So, or the better a buying opportunity is presented. So we're looking at a retracement of 11.0%, and indeed, those who market participants are probably looking at it and also going to put their money to see if they're going to get anything from a possible upside pretty soon. So let's look at Rgbp. Regen Biopharma down 9.39%. Currently seeing some resistance from the 10-day and the 20-day. As a matter of fact, the short and intermediate trend lines seeing resistance there. So SYX SYSOREX is up 8.61%, not as active as SOS. Okay, let's look at INPX. INPX up 9.48%. Gradually getting, it's gradually bullish at the moment, gradually trying to extend. MACD is above the signal line. Momentum is somewhat flat. SOS is now recovered a little bit, up at, it was at some point, it was at 11% at some point, so now down 10.52%, getting some resistance from the 10-day trend line. So for the best part of how would I put it now? For the best part of almost 20 minutes was just pretty much moving sideways, and this is also the 1 minute model, the livest you can get it. So but it has since retraced, and trying to extend again, but getting some resistance from this 10-day trend line. The 10-day trend line is currently at 4.29. It has probably breached it now. So volume is low, and that can be one of the factors as well. There hasn't been sufficient interest in this session as much as it was over the last few sessions. So even with the news about the rigs they have taken delivery of, but in any case, though, that news came out yesterday, and the volume for yesterday, I believe, was by far better than what it is today on SOS. So let's see whether we can find any news concerning SOS. So that's not today, that's yesterday. Okay, this is stock tweets, not exactly news, just people sharing their opinions. So as limited triple-digit growth may drive stock to successive new highs. So nothing new as such there. So yes, it has broken through that 10-day trend line. The next level will be the 20-day trend line. It's getting some it's pivoted around there and trying to challenge it. So you can see the MACD has broken through as well. You can see the volumes are not exactly so wonderful. 9,000, 10,000. We'd expect to see triple-digit figures, but we are looking at only 14, 15,000, 21,000, and they are like 22,000. $30,000 now. So the interest today is not exactly so wonderful as such. So it's down 10.02% currently. Momentum is very strong here. We can see that. You can see at the maximum at the moment, or nearly at the maximum. It's at 77%. Gradually looking up. The next level will be that 50-day trend line. That's this one. You can see momentum is at 99%. Very strong, really strong at the moment. Even though we have over the last few seconds 16,000 shares. My MACD is clearly above the signal line. That's the signal line, and that's the MACD itself. The MACD, the signal line is an indicator of its average over the successive seconds or minutes or period, as the case may be. There is some resistance at that for $4.33. You can see the momentum as well. You can see that at 86.86. Momentum is quite strong, sustained, leveling out a bit at 80, roughly 80, okay, roughly 80%. But there's some, it was a bit of a retracement, but got support from the 10-day trend line. Okay, while we're at this, we can look at SYSOREX. SYSOREX, I think, has lost some, yes, it has gradually retraced a bit, and the momentum is flat right now. There isn't anything there at all. MACD below the signal line. INPX is still better at 9.48, challenging the short-term trend lines one after the other. Currently challenging the 10-day trend line. The one below is the 20-day trend line, so got knocked back now to 1.26. Momentum is also flat as well. So INPX is up 8.62%. SOS is down 9.39%, broken through this 50-day trend line, while we were looking at SYX and in INPX. So MACD is above the signal line. There's a good chance that we may see another retracement. We may not. The stock, I don't think, will surpass this 4.38 in the near term. Yes, there's a good chance we might see some retracement. So maybe because the volatility is not very strong, maybe scalpers are taking advantage of the relatively quiet environment and getting their game on. Since for some time now, we have not, it hasn't broken. Okay, it's only breaking through this 50-day trend line, and that will be the first since, from what we can see, that will be the first since probably an hour. That's the first in an hour, but I really don't see it breaking through this 4.8 mark, and at least in the next hour as well. I think I expect it to I might be wrong. I expect it to continue to maybe retrace again, maybe try again and pull up. So, but it's challenging my prediction, challenging it, and there's a good chance it might break through that 4.38. So it's currently down 8.97. Yes, if you're there, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment if you can, and let's see how things are going. If you have any other stock you want us to have a look at, just put it down in the comment box. So we are looking at SYSOREX Limited, and we're not sure if we're going to get any squeeze today, but indeed every extension is a squeeze. It might be a squeeze because anybody who's already, any short holder who is already tight at those levels might be forced to close up their position, and indeed that is a squeeze. So it mustn't be a case of triple, quadruple digit extensions, that it has to be a squeeze. At various points, at various times, squeezes do occur, even when they don't even seem that way. So it's currently down 9.27%. We actually did see a retracement of 11%. So currently now it has improved. It has gained about 2% since that time. So far so good. I think since 1 o'clock Eastern US time, the highest we have recorded is this $4.392. So we are predicting it will not break through this $4.38 mark for at least an hour from now on. So currently down at 9.19%. In the first hour, it was down slightly, even at some point even extended and got into the positive, but for some reason it since retraced up to 11% at some point. So currently seeing some resistance at this 4.36. MACD is currently above the signal line because the stock is also above the short-term trend lines as well, short and intermediate trend lines. I believe the 10-day, the long-term trend line is still up there. Okay, so the stock is about to prove us wrong. The next level is going to challenge is that 4.38 we pointed out. It has gotten there, challenged it, but we've got some resistance, challenging it again. I believe it will definitely break through, so I'm totally wrong, but so far I'm still right. Challenge it again. You can see volume is at 51,995. That's not exactly so wonderful. You can see 1,728. So still hasn't broken through that 4.38, but I believe it will. Yeah, if you're there, give us a thumbs up. Let's get going. So SYSOREX is currently retraced at 8.78, or rather by 8.75%, trading at $4.38. That level has become a resistance point at the moment. but anytime soon I believe we might break through that and extend. The short and intermediate trend lines are very much bullish at the moment, but the 200-day trend line is bearish. We can't see it at the moment because the stock has retraced a lot, so it's currently not visible in this screen. So far so good. We are still on point. Still hasn't broken through that 4.38. D is clearly above the signal line and rising. Momentum is also, bullish. Yeah, it's consolidating here, and as such the 10-day trend line is catching up, gradually catching up, because it's been wasting time here. It's been wasting time here for some. It's been here for some minutes. So this MACD very soon it will catch up with it. And when it does, then if you catch up with it, then it's good. It begins it a bit, at least it dilutes the extension it has had. It will, okay, we have just lost our point. It has extended now, currently at 4.39. So even if it retraces, we've lost the point. We've lost our prediction, because we said it wasn't going to break through. It has broken through now. It's gradually extending, getting bullish, very bullish at the moment. The 50-day trend line is yet to reflect that, but the 10-day and the 20-day are clearly very much in that mode. You can see that extending further again, breaking out 4.42, down 7.95 only, retraced. Clawed back some of those losses, extending again. Next level 4.44. Will it reach it? Will it break through that 4.44? Yes, it hasn't, but yeah, there's a good chance it will. $4.44 next level, breakthrough. I have to start getting positive and enthusiastic. See, we have triple digits now. So suddenly, 6 digits. Sorry, we're now down to 4 digits. Momentum is going flat right now. Its momentum precedes this, but they tend to act in consonance. I mean, we can visibly see that they act in consonance, even though they are saying even though the theory is that, or not just, it's not the theory, it's obviously the fact, as momentum feeds the price action, so it precedes the price action. But currently we are seeing some extension, some resistance at 4.42, so 4.44. will it reach that and extend? Leveling off a bit. The 10-day and the 20-day trend lines still trying to catch up. The more it delays, the more it consolidates and pulls back, the easier it is for those shorter trend lines to catch up with it. But right now it's winning the game, gradually consolidating at the moment at 4.43. Momentum is currently at 92.31%, sustained, but easing off a bit. Yes, it's pointing downwards now. Some money is going off the table over there. Currently at a 7, roughly 8% retracement. Okay, how about me having 40,000 of SYSOREX? Hold strong, my fellow. Within 2 weeks it will be over $10, so buy the fire discount now while you can. Yes, buy the fire discount. Yes. So currently retracing at the moment, retracing and retracing, down 8.54, getting some support from that 10-day trend line. MACD is leveling out a bit as well. Our momentum is down to 65.08% now. We are looking at a 4-digit figure for the volume, 5,100, and okay, now 5 digits, 19,000. This is the 1-minute live model. This is the closest you can see. You can see what's going on. This is the closest you can have it. So I'm gradually extending again. I think it's going to, there's a good chance it will breach this 4.44 and extend a bit. So next target is 4.44. Will it reach it? Will it breach it? You can see it has retraced and the 10-day trend line has caught up with it now. But it's good because, you know, with that convergence, or with that convergence and retracement, it becomes slightly cheap as well. So retracing down now. Next support will be the 20-day trend line, but first of all it will be the 4.38, the same 4.38 we thought it wouldn't break through within the next hour, but it has since broke through and extended. So just slightly consolidating above that level, above that 4.38. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, we're getting enough likes. Keep the spirit high. We are all facing a stiff opposition. It's been, you know, even though, well, it's been, what I say, revealed that indeed the market makers are trying to make their own money whilst they serve us as well, whilst they serve us remotely or indirectly. They serve our platforms, and they are platform servers. So, but it's been alleged that they are also involved in the short selling, even naked short selling, so that even if you do your best not to use limit orders to sell your shares, because I mean, by doing so, when you place those limit orders, the shares are no longer in your possession, even though they are still yours until they are sold. And by doing so, by placing those orders, they are now out of your possession and available for borrowers to use. So regardless of that, you know, they are still doing what they're doing. That's the allegation, and they are calling on Congress to help and ensure that the spirit of the retail investors, especially a lot of retail investors who have quit their jobs to come and face this, Yeah, but short selling in itself is not bad because it's good. We all want to see a balance in everything, in every stock we are buying. I mean, personally, a good short interest. As a matter of fact, a good short interest is attractive, and then because I mean, like I'm saying, it's a good balance. We don't want to see bullishness all the way, and there's no skepticism. The short interest locks money up in the stock, so that even if in the absence of any optimism from, or any input from fresh long players, the money locked into the stock will give the stock the fuel it needs. Hence, the short interest is good, and hence our clamor for the short squeeze on SOS and indeed any other stock. So I think to some extent it's a fair game, but if you're saying that the market makers are involved, then it's not as fair as that, because they are supposed to. I mean, yes, they have to make money, yes, and we're trading free, but it's a bit hard to swallow that they are involved and selling it, shorting the stocks, various stocks, especially the OTC stocks, naked. And even some have even alleged that a lot of fake or counterfeit, what is one of those counterfeit trades or shots have been put in place before now. So it's currently at the 4.38 mark, the same level we pointed out, or we predicted it wasn't going to break through. It broke through that and even reached 4.43. So currently seeing resistance there now. Yes, the 10-day trend line is also offering some resistance as well, has come into the fray, getting bearish while the stock itself is trying to extend. Okay, so let's have a look at Rgbp, so we don't forget the other ones. Regen Biopharma down 5.68. You can see strongly extended now. The sideways movement that has been on for the best part of almost 1 hour, I think, is over at the moment. So it's gradually extending, maybe trying to wipe off this spread we are looking at right now. So we have a volume of 704,640. I believe Rgbp is a small float, is it? Let's see whether we can get its figure. Rgbp. Oops. We're logged out. Okay, so have a figure of 367,279. Let's have a look at the daily model. We might get a picture of what has happened so far. 528 million shares have crossed the tape so far, and based on this daily model, it's very much bullish. You can see that. Obviously, this is what has happened. This is a combination of what has happened over the previous sessions. I think 2 days ago it was up by a huge amount. So let's move on to SYX. SYSOREX up 6.49. seen as well, ran up a gain of 1000% yesterday. So you would always expect to see something like this, but let's return to the 1 minute model and see what's going on. So currently it is pointing downwards, trading below all of its trend lines. Momentum is flat, it's almost flat. MACD gradually converging with the signal line. So let's look at INPX in peak zone, up 8.62, extending as well, broken through all of its short and intermediate trend lines. Next level is the 200-day trend line. Momentum is quite strong. MACD is clearly bullish and extending. We'll return to SOS. SOS is down 8.44%. So it's broken through now. It's challenging the 4.42 level. Momentum is strong. MACD is yet to surpass the signal line. We have a volume of 166, 179, 185, 190, 205, 215,000. So it's extending. Currently challenging that 4.44. Will it break through that 4.44? Will it break through 4.44? So you can see the retracement has dropped down to 7.5 now. So next level, it's right at 4.44 now. Will it break through that and extend further? Yes, now retrace down to 4.4200. $4.4299 currently. MACD has surpassed the signal line, as we can see there. So extending, okay, it has just the 200-day trend line just came into the picture, and I think it says it's at 4.45. So fingers crossed it has broken through that 4.45 now and retraced a bit. So it's currently going to break through that again, possibly. You can see there up there in the screen that's the 200-day trend line is currently at 4.45. You can see that that's the figure it's in, 4.45. So seeing some resistance around that area. So the retracement is now down to 7.6%. Yes, broken through now. Retracement down to 7.31%. Currently at 4.45 at the moment. gradually extending, getting bullish. Retracement down to 7.29. The short and intermediate trend lines are very much bullish, but we can see that. You can see, yes, that's the 200-day trend line still bearish. You can see this, the stock has extended to 4.46. Retracement is down to 6.9% now, gradually clawing back all of those losses and extending. Currently at 4.47. All of these extensions are all squeezes, whether you like it or not. You know, it doesn't have to be when it's 200% extension. You know, every extension at some point may affect a short holder, and he will be forced, or he or she will be forced to close his or her position, and that's a squeeze. You know. Even though I've been sounding like short sellers are bad guys, but they help the stock. They are like it's a symbiosis. You know, they put money in the stock, and we all need money in the stock. It's the money in the stock that attracts us. So let's not hate them. Even though I have contradicted myself in this session I've been having. Short sellers, they are very much important. They put money in the stock, and by doing so they attract us. By and large, they are, amongst other things, they are the reason a lot of market participants are involved with SOS, because of the potential of a squeeze. So let's not hate them as such, because what they're doing is very much important, even though you might argue as well that market makers shouldn't be doing so. But let's see how things go. It's currently, the retracement is now down to 6.47% now, so they're currently at 4.49. Would it reach 4.5? The volume weighted average price is at 4.51, where it's not visible at the moment because it's way up there. It's not currently in the picture. You can see that volume weighted average price 4.51. So $4.490, that's the extension at the moment. So that's the price at the moment. So it's roughly 4.5 now. So anytime soon, I think we might see that volume weighted average price. So retracement is down to 6.46%. Are we going to see 4.5 anytime soon? Give us 4.5. Give us 4.5. Give us. So momentum is also not so strong. My D is still above the signal line because obviously the stock is also above the 10-day trend line, the short-term trend line. So it's cooling off a bit because it's run up some gain over the last 10 minutes now. So anytime soon they might converge with the 10-day trend line. It's looking like that, or might get a support from it. 10-day trend line is at 4.45, so a few fractions shy of that. So the retracement has increased to roughly 7% now. Yes, retracement has increased to 7.08, so the 10-day trend line is at 4.46 and it's just slightly above that figure, 4.46, 4.47 now. Momentum is just briefly flat now and bearish a bit now. Volume as well, you can see that their volume is only at 2,000. Okay, now 34,000. It's broken through that 10-day trend line, but it's still very much bullish for the time being. So it's at resting at that 4.45 price level. So retracement has increased to 7.11%. Volume is at 91,630, roughly 92,000. Yeah, it's probably has resumed the extension. Retracement's down to 6.56, 6.46 now. Yes, we want to see 4.5. We want to see this. We want to see it extend to 4.5 or probably break through the volume weighted average price that is at 4.51. So you can even see that based on the volume weighted average price, it's trading at a discount, a slight discount now. So it's saying that going by the volume it has seen so far, it should be trading at 4.51, but it's currently trading at 4.47. Getting some support at that 4.47 or from the 10-day trend line, trading at 4.47. so let's see if we can get a 4.5. Let's see if we can surpass its volume weighted average price. Hasn't reached there yet. So at some point this retracement was at 11%. So it has clawed back about 5% of that. So it's currently now at 4.48%. Fingers crossed it might just surpass that volume weighted average price that is at 4.51. We can't see it at the moment because it has not at least we need to actually reach 4.5%, $4.5 for us to see that line. We're currently not seeing it. It's indicating that that is what it should be trading at based on the volume it has seen so far. Yeah, if you're there, thank you very much. Give us a thumbs up. Let's at least make that the likes 4. Let's get it up to 4. We have just 3 there. Somebody else just give us an additional like so that we can make it 4. So retracement has increased to 6.87%. Seen some resistance from that 10-day trend line. Are we going to see a 4.5? 4.5 should just easily just come in there now. Easily just give us a 4.5. Going by what the volume weighted average price is saying, it's currently trading at a very slight discount, very small discount, not a lot, not significant as such. $4.5, yes, we've seen 4.5, but we retraced now. We want to see 4.51. Are we going to see that? We've seen a 4.5, but it was very much momentary. I think the stock is quite bullish at the moment. For now, yes. Let's see what the volume is. Volume obviously should have increased, but whether we are seeing negative figures or not. So it has since added about 5 million ounces of fraction. So you can see based on the daily model, it's trading at a discount to all of its short and intermediate trend lines. So we'll return to the 1 minute. Oh wow, we've got 5 likes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh. So let's hope we can at least breach that 4.51. That's the volume weighted average price. Let's see if we can reach there. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. If only we could push this, you know, we just drag it up there. Well, unfortunately, the only way we can drag it is with money, by trading it and dragging it up there. So retracement has increased now to 6.89%, getting some support from the 20-day trend line and trading in between the 10-day and the 20, and slightly above the 200-day. The 200-day is at 4.40 and it's at 4.4603, so roughly 6 cents away from the 200-day trend line. So consolidating at the moment, has given the short-term trend lines opportunity to catch up. Hopefully with that catch up, it will now begin another extension. Maybe that will take it to 470. Fingers crossed. Let's see. 470, give us 470. But first of all, we want to see a breach through the volume weighted average price, which is currently at 4.51. Yes, started the extension slightly with a pivot at the 20-day trend line, with a pivot at the 4.46 price level. MACD is currently bearish, obviously, because the stock itself is trading below its 10-day trend line. So, but it's challenging it, breaking through, but still not enough. It has to clear it sufficiently for that MACD to follow suit. MACD is evidently a lagging indicator, but the leading indicator should be the momentum. Retracement down to 6.7% now. Yes, we're seeing 4.49. Can we see a 4.5? Yeah, 4.5 now. Can we see 4.51? No, down to 4.4979. We're looking for 4.51 at least. Break through that volume weighted average price. 4.5 right now. Next level 4.51. 4.4950, 4.4950 at the moment. Retracement is reduced to 6.25. .4985, 4.4917. Give us 4.51, 4.51. We've seen a 4.5. Take it up to 4.451. Break through that and extend further. Up to 4.49 at the moment. Retracement of 6.35. Momentum is at 81.80%. MACD is still below the signal line. This is based on the 1 minute model of the session of the 15th of April. SYSOREX Limited currently at $4.5. We're looking for an extension through the 4.51 level. Retracement has slightly increased, decreased now, increased again. Will we see a breach? Will we see SYSOREX go through 4.51 in the next 10 minutes? Retracement slightly increasing, up, down, up rather, up to 6.47% now. Yes, the retracement has increased to 6.77%. The 10-day and the 20-day trend lines have converged, and the stock itself is just resting on them. Broken through. Let's still get offering some support there. 4.48, 4.47 now. Yes, the retracement has reduced down to 6.56%, but we really want to see the stock extend beyond 4.51, which is what the volume weighted average price is indicating as its price based on the volume it has had so far. But currently it's currently at 4.485, a retracement of 6.46%. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys with SOS. I'm going to take a break and I'll return. So just please bear with me. 4.51. You can see that. We can clearly see the volume weighted average price since it broke through that. Yeah, hello. So the retracement is down to 5.84% now. seeing more extensions. So the retracement is down to 4.8% now. their earnings come out, and it helps sense, that'll be good. Okay, thank you very much for joining us in this session. We have to end it now. Thank you very much.